My name is Yuliana, and welcome to my apartment.
I'll let you lead the way.
All right, we'll just come down this hallway into the main space. This is my living room, my dining room, where I do most of my work, where I relax, hang out with friends. I would say the majority of my time is spent right here on this couch. And then there's a lot of character in this apartment, including this colorful beam, which I have a very love-hate relationship with. I tried to take it down and they didn't let me, but one of the perks is that when you're sitting down, pretend this is like a cup of coffee, you can kind of just place it right here and watch TV or do work. So that's the only upside to this little beam.
I thought it was kind of like a CD holder. Kind of has this.
You know, it might be, but yeah, I'm sure a CD would fit in here. I've had friends tell me that I should put candles and decorate it, but I can't see myself doing that. But you'll see throughout this apartment, there's quite a few things that have a lot of character and quirkiness to them, but there's also a lot of things that I love. So yeah, this is I have a coffee table here. It has a lot of things that I feel like represent me. Okay. I'm studying fashion at Institut Français de la Mode, and so I love to read magazines, different books on fashion. This one is a coffee table book. It's the first book I bought in Paris on Carolyn Bessette-Kennedy. She's like my style icon. And then underneath I have an interview magazine with Kylie Jenner on the cover that my friend Eleonora gifted me. And so then I even have like these little trinkets. This is a gold mechanical pencil that my boyfriend gifted me. It was his grandfather's, who passed away a couple years ago. And I just love the details. You don't really see stuff like this anymore. And my favorite colors, I would say, are gold and red. So that's why there's so much of it on this table. I love that this reminds me of my boyfriend, but also something that was sentimental to him and his family. We have this little chapstick from Obscene Bully, which every girl has on TikTok, but my friend gifted it to me for a little Christmas exchange, so I love it. It has my initials. These are actually my apartment keys. This was also gifted to me. It's a vintage Gucci keyring holder.
Oh, nice.
Just something else that I feel like I never see, but it's really fun, and I love the colors, of course. Blue light glasses, because I sit here and I edit so much of my time. And then I even have a little nail polish, because this is where I will just sit on the ground right here. I'll move the table upwards or out of the way. Sometimes I move it completely to the other side of my apartment. And I love to paint my nails, watch a movie. I scrapbook a lot, so that all happens here. And then this is also like my Pilates studio. So when I want to get a workout in, instead of having a yoga mat, I have this carpet that I bought, and we move the table and get it done. So
sounds very cozy.
It's a bit of me, yeah. And then moving over here, this is my TV. Fun fact, I had a broken TV for the first 3 months of living here, and my landlord took forever to replace it. Finally, it was replaced around Christmas though, so she works beautifully. And I have this duck lamp that came with the apartment that I love so much. I mean, like, come on, this thing.
Yeah, it's very unique.
It's so fun.
You have to touch the duck or something to get the light on?
Honestly, no, I wish. That would have been so much cooler, but instead it's just a little, it's like that.
Well.
And the artwork that art piece came with the apartment, and it's honestly so big that I thought about replacing it, but it would have just been too difficult to do that, and I'm renting, so I figured let's just leave it. This one I did replace. I feel like it's a pretty French cliche of a girl in her pajamas eating a croissant. But I'll show you what was there before, which was this. I keep it in hiding. We had these glasses. That's kind of what it looked like. And I don't know, to me it was very dark and not very girly, so I figured let's just replace it with whatever we could find. And this is my desk area. When I moved in, this desk was actually against the wall over here, and I never used it because it was facing away from the window. Yeah. Now I use it all the time that it's facing the light, and so I have just another magazine, a notepad. I'm always taking notes and writing. I have like 3 agendas. I'm a very visual and just like I need to have it down on paper. I have some camera equipment and like a tripod. I love making Instagram reels and TikToks and YouTube videos, so all that kind of stuff.
Go check out on YouTube. I'm gonna link
cool.
the channel below.
Yeah, I make a bunch of videos on what it's like as an American in Paris. It's nothing like Emily in Paris. They lie in that show. My friends always ask me, and I'm like, no, it's nothing like that. I also am just starting to learn French, which comes with so many barriers. And so, yeah, I try to give a realistic take on what it's like moving to Paris, going to a fashion school, and just figuring it out as I'm living alone. And then, of course, more nail polish. It's like my favorite pastime. And these chairs came with the apartment. We have a green one and a blue one. I can't say that they're my personal style, but you know, I can't get rid of them, so we make it work. And then we also have this little corner. These are a few prints that I got from a flea market in Paris. I am studying luxury fashion, and so I really love luxury French fashion brands and French beauty brands. I had the intention of framing these for a very long time on this wall, but then I kind of liked how they looked just on top of this little drawer here, so we left it as is. And this was a going away gift from my roommate at university in the US, Sophie. She's the one to the right here. And right before I moved to Paris, she got our house that we lived in our senior year painted and framed for me. So I have that as a really nice memory, and then just a photo of us from graduation sitting on the porch right here, and this window was my room. So I love that.
Where were you, like where you're from in the US?
I'm from Connecticut. So I was born in Ukraine. My family moved to the US when I was really young, and then I grew up in Connecticut. I ended up going to the University of Connecticut. For my undergrad, I studied marketing and Spanish, and somewhere along the way, I realized that instead of doing mark for a tech company, I wanted to do it for fashion. I was really into sustainable fashion. I started working at a luxury watch and fine jewelry store, which is actually why I picked one of these Hermes posters, because there's a bunch of the Hermes watches. I got into luxury watches and fine jewelry and realized the luxury industry was really where I wanted to work. So studied abroad in Paris for 6 months, fell in love with the city, and then once I graduated from UConn, I applied to grad school and I got in. So now I'm here studying luxury management and I love it. But yeah, just a bit more of my personality. This is a very new plant. I'm not a plant mom, so it's my first time having an actual real plant, and I take care of it very seriously because I would cry if it died. So yeah, we water her once a week, make sure that she stays happy. And a cool thing about this dresser that I can show you that no one would know, and it took me a while once I moved in and I was cleaning everything to even realize myself, is that this part opens up, and it's super old, so you'll see like there's a crack in this mirror, and there's marble. We lined it because it was a bit dirty, but I thought that was pretty fun. It's like a little hidden chamber of sorts.
Was that used for like makeup or something?
I think it had to have been. Maybe it was like a vanity, and you would open it up and keep your makeup here and sit and get ready. I mean, the mirror, it's a bit aged,
but like back in the day,
yeah, back in the day it would have got the job done. So I think this is fun. I can keep some random things in there and no one would ever know. And then from here, we have my bedroom right behind this like half glass wall. It's nice when I have someone come and stay with me. Sometimes I have to move my bed like a little bit this way, but this door does close. And so I have like a bit more privacy. This apartment is 34 square meters, which is plenty of space for just me living here alone. But the biggest part about me wanting to move here is, one, because it was close to my school, and two, because I have a lot of family and friends constantly visiting either from the US or other parts from abroad. So I needed to have a spot where I could have my bedroom and the couch in the living room pulls out, so I can have my own little space in here. And then there's also a lot of blinds, so I can close it, make it dim in here if I want. And they drag down all the way down, but to be honest, I never use this because I love the natural light, and that's kind of what gets me up in the morning. This is my bed. It's more comfortable than my bed back in the US, so I absolutely love it. I have a few of my things hanging up. This is my bathrobe that I live in the mornings. And then I just have like a few of my favorite vintage bags. This was an Italian leather bag gifted to me by my aunt in Ukraine when I was probably around 16 years old, and it's very special to me. I have had it ever since, and I'll never ever get rid of that. This cow print bag was actually 10 euros, and I thrifted it in Slovenia, and it was just at a random pop-up flea market, and I found out that this brand my friend is pretty familiar with. It's by the brand Fiorucci, which I'm not as familiar with, but I guess it's really popular in Italy. So I think it's very fun. I also really love cow print because back at the University of Connecticut, where I did my undergrad, we had this hill called Horse Barn Hill where there was a bunch of cows. You would go and bring picnic blankets and have a picnic with your friends or just watch the sunset and get ice cream afterwards. So I love cows. This hat is also from the University of Connecticut. It's when we won a national championship for our basketball program. And then a little tote bag with my school now on it. Then over here, this is my side of the bed. I have a little print of my boyfriend and I, and then this is like where I keep my jewelry. And then I always keep either a book that I'm reading or just journals so that I write in them at night. Right now I'm reading Normal People, a very easy read. This was recommended to me by a few friends at my school and I've been loving it. This is the other book that I'm currently reading. 101 Essays That Will Change the Way You Think. This one's great. I like it because you don't have to read it from start to finish. You can kind of just pick a prompt that you want to read or it interests you and read a few essays and then put it down. So I love that.
It's funny that you mentioned Sally Rooney because in one of my previous videos, another girl, she was also really interested.
Really?
Yeah.
Really popular right now. A lot of her books are doing extremely well. Keep my passport in here too. I don't know why. I feel like I'm one of those people that if I put it somewhere else, I'll forget where it is. If I just like put it in a drawer. So when it's by my bed, I can't lose it. Yeah. Let's see. I have another book on that end. I mentioned earlier that I really like Carolyn Bessette Kennedy and that she's like my fashion inspiration. And so I bought that coffee table book the day before my 22nd birthday. And at the same time, I bought this book, which is kind of like a biography on her life. And what attracted me to it is that when I was in the bookstore, in the middle of books like this, they always have a bunch of pictures of the person's life and stories. So when I was in the bookstore, I opened up to the middle and I started reading just the photos because that's always the most interesting part. And I saw that her parents went to university where I did at the University of Connecticut. So I was like, oh, I never knew that. She grew up in Connecticut. And so I thought, okay, I'm gonna buy this book as well as a little birthday gift to myself. But rather than taking the first book off the pile that I had originally read, I said, let me take the third one down because then I know no one touched it and it's my book. So that ended up being this book. I ended up walking across the street to the Tuileries Garden and picking a little bench to sit at. And I start reading the book. And as I read it, I flip to the photos. And in this book, the photos are all wrong. It happened to be of the universe. So you see like the different galaxies.
But how?
So random. It was completely a mistake. The entire book, all the writing is correct, but these photos were somehow printed incorrectly from another book.
That's crazy.
Which is so rare. I mean, I feel like this never happens. And for me, like I don't know, I love horoscopes and that kind of thing. So I was like, oh my gosh, maybe it's a sign. But I was also mad because I was like, okay, I picked the book because I wanted the right photos. Yeah. I went back to the bookstore, I showed them the book, and I said, can I get a different one because this one has the wrong photos? Yeah. They were like, oh my gosh, this never happens. Are you sure you don't want to keep it? Yeah. And then I thought about it for a minute. I grabbed the correct book and I said, no, actually, never mind. I want to keep the one with the weird photos. It's like, this is odd. I bought it for my birthday. And yeah, so that's a fun little story I like to share because cool, I'll never forget that whole experience. And let's see, from here, we walk into the kitchen. I like that this door closes, that's good. Especially when I'm cooking. You don't get the scents from the kitchen mixed in with the rest of the apartment, so that's very nice. And in the winter months when I have the heaters on in there, but I need to open up a window to get rid of the smoke, the door kind of helps trap the heat in there while airing it out in here. But I mentioned that there's a lot of character in this apartment, and I would say that these lime green countertops definitely add to that. Definitely also not my style, but you know, it gets the job done. This kitchen is a really good size for one person. I like that I have 4 stovetop places, and this is my washer. It ends up being a placeholder for a lot of my fruit whenever I'm not using it, but that's my washer. And the fridge is right down here. It's very small. It reminds me of the mini fridge I used to have in my college dorm. And I would get so upset with this fridge whenever I would have family visiting because I would stock up on groceries and nothing would fit. And then I realized, let me just add some photos and magnets to there, and now I think it's cute and I love it so much more.
It must be a big difference, like fridges in the US
Yeah.
and fridges in Europe.
No, in the US, you're so used to the big fridges.
Big one, it opens with 2 doors.
Yeah, exactly. You've had like a whole freezer compartment.
Yeah.
The only time you see small fridges is if it's a mini fridge within like a college dorm. So that's why it reminds me of that. But yeah, definitely takes some getting used to. I think I've gotten used to it for just myself. But again, anytime I have a friend visiting, it kind of becomes a nightmare. I have a lot of storage. So this apartment came furnished. So there was a lot of plates and glassware that came with it. These are all plates. I had to wash everything, but now it's great whenever I have guests. There's enough for everyone. These are all glasses. And then this is my pantry. It's a bit of a mess, but we have everything. Spices, teas, grains, like pasta, whatever I need is usually in here. And then this is my little cocktail corner. I try to always be able to make some sort of cocktail whenever I have my girls come over. So I have Cointreau because I was making Cosmopolitans before, which is one of my favorites. And then I always have my Aperol and a bottle of champagne, just in case.
Just in case
you never know.
There's a breakup or something.
Exactly, in case something goes wrong or in case something goes really right, then you can't go wrong. But yeah, that's about
pretty
it for this spot.
decently sized kitchen. You said good for one person, honestly even good for 2 people.
Yeah.
My kitchen is smaller than this, I would say, and yeah, you have enough space.
No, yeah, I definitely like it a lot.
Yeah.
The lime green's grown on me.
Yeah. Nice.
And I can show, this is my closet. It's very big. I will say I'm not used to this much storage. So this side is like half pantry, half medicine cabinet, and half clothing, sheets for whenever my friends come or when I expand this little pull-out couch. I have pillows, blankets for that. This is like technology. These are all kitchen towels. This is a bit more of my pantry and just like my medicine, different silverware or just like plates, platters that I would need are up there. And like my shoes are down here, which is really fun. So a lot of storage that I've never had before. And then on the other side is where I keep most of my clothing. So up here I have a bunch of my clothes and then my suitcases I can store in here, which is really nice, kind of keep it out of sight. Up here it's like my summer clothes, gifts that I've slowly been culminating from my travels to bring back home at some point. And then I have just a bag full of Christmas ornaments that I bought this year in case I need them for next year.
Do you ever go back to the US in between, or you just stay
So
here?
I haven't. I moved here in September and I haven't gone back since. I will be going back around May or June. So that's being planned as we speak. But throughout my program, I haven't gone back yet. And I've had people come here, so that's been nice.
That's cool.
Yeah. And then I'm trying to think if there's anything else in here we haven't covered. That mirror came with the apartment as well. I don't know why I think it's kind of Art Deco. I could be totally wrong, but honestly, it looks like something my mom would buy for our house back home, so it's somehow a little bit homey. Some more storage in here. This is the cleaning and coat closet. Up here is just like toilet paper, extra paper towels, cleaning supplies. Here are all my coats. Down there is like mops, brooms, vacuums, and at the very top is just, again, like so much linen and towels that were left over from the landlord. It's a bit too much though, so I kind of just keep it there. I don't usually ever have to use it.
But it's very, very well organized in general. Like
Yeah.
the whole apartment seems like you know exactly where everything is.
I try, yeah. My mom helped me move in and she's
Okay.
very, so her and I cleaned everything and then we tried to think, okay, like systematically, where does it make sense to put the towels and then your coats, and so she helped me with that. I can't take all the credit. I have this flower chandelier, which is very quirky. It's like a paper chandelier, but it projects this like
honestly, it's
shade.
kind of cool.
It's cool. It's different. This corner is also where I hang up my laundry. You'll see in the bathroom in just a second I have a towel heater, so that's nice when you don't have a dryer. It gets my clothes dry for the most part, but for everything else, this thing expands on both sides. Oh gosh, if I can figure it out. And I'll usually move this into the living room by the windows and I'll hang everything to dry. But when I'm not using it, I can just move it into the corner here and it doesn't take up much space. And then this guy over here has been my lifesaver since moving to Paris. This is what I use every time I go and buy groceries. So it opens up and this part drops. And then you have a cart. It has a lid. And so you'll see me walking down the street in Paris with this thing. And I've been stopped so many times and people ask me where I got it.
Yeah.
I bought it at the Costco right outside of Paris. Okay. It's a bit of a journey to get there, but I think it was 20 or 30 euros and I've definitely got my money out of it.
You could almost deliver pizza.
Oh my gosh, yeah, you could do it all in this thing. And then from here, the only room left is the bathroom. We'll go right in here. Let you take a look.
Oh yeah, pretty spacious.
It's a good amount of space. I spend so much time in here getting ready in the morning or just winding down at night. Yeah. I back home was sharing a bathroom with my brother, so it's also just been a luxury in disguise being able to have my own space. I also love the double mirror. You have the mirror right here, which is great because there's a light right under here. So it makes it nice if you want to film a little get ready with me TikTok. But also there's this mirror on this door right here. So it's from both sides. So if I'm getting ready and I need to look at the back of my head, I can see it, which is also so nice. And yeah, this is the towel heater that I mentioned. My favorite part of this bathroom, besides the fact that the mirror has a light, is probably this nightlight. One of my best friends, Chase, gifted that to me for, I want to say, my 20th birthday. And I just thought it was nice that he saw this at, I want to say, also a flea market and thought of me. So it's gone with me everywhere. I brought it with me when I studied abroad. I brought it back to Paris this time around, and I like that it's girly. I also really like this tile situation. I feel like it helps make this a girl bathroom, which everyone loves a girl bathroom. And again, I mentioned that I love red and gold, so we have a little bit of red right there.
And your
bath mat
is insane.
You guys, it's so soft.
It is so soft. When I stepped inside, I was like, am I standing on a
No,
like
it's so nice compared to like everything else. Yeah. It's like a luxury, also from Costco right outside of Paris. And sometimes I get ready with this mirror in front and the light, but honestly, because this is so comfortable, if I feel like it, I will just close this. I take my makeup bag out of here. I make myself a cup of matcha and I will sit right here on the ground and I get ready like this because this is just like a little foam pad and then it's so easy. And I can put my phone right on here because I have the Octo Buddy, so I can like watch a show, get ready, take my time. So invest in a nice bath mat. It's like the best thing you can do.
Go to Costco.
Go to Costco is basically the
This video is not sponsored by Costco, but
no, but if they want to reach out to me, I'm willing to work with them.
Good.
Yeah.
Cool.
But I think that's like the majority of it. I have some umbrellas in the corner because one thing I've learned about Paris is that even when the weather app says it's not going to rain, there's always a 50% chance it will rain. So I like throwing a mini one in my bag just in case. And then I just keep like an extra spare set of keys in case I have a friend coming and I have to give it to them. And yeah, we have this earphone. I don't think it works. They told me it worked, but I've never been able to get it to work. So it's there for Decor.
Okay, cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that we've seen pretty much everything. You said that the apartment is 34 square meters.
Yep, 34 square meters, 1,400 euros a month.
1,400 euros a month. Okay.
Yeah.
That's somewhere in like the regular price range, maybe a tiny bit on the upper side,
Yeah.
I would say.
We're in the 13th right now, so I feel like it is kind of on the upper side for the 13th because this isn't a very touristy street. I would say it's very residential, but the upside of this apartment is that it is about a 5-minute walk from the 5th, which is where you'll find so many really cute boulangeries, cafes, restaurants. It's about a walk that way. So, yeah, I mean, it's very close proximity to the 5th. I do think it's a bit high for the 13th, but it's so close to my school that it works out well for me.
And it seems very calm, like the neighborhood.
Yeah. Yeah, I have a few friends actually from my school that happen to live on the street too, which just happened because it was close by, so it worked out for everyone. But yeah, I like it.
Okay, well, great. I think we've seen everything.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for letting us tour your apartment.
Thanks for stopping by. This was so much fun.
Cool. All right then. Thank you.
Thank you.